Okay, I want to welcome everyone to our September 5th, 2017 meeting of the County Commissioners. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing on our agenda will be Nathan Bilger for a zoning text and map amendment.
Thank you, Mr. President. Or is it Chairman?
Sure.
Chairman. Which one do you want to handle first?
Let's go ahead and get the overlay out of the way.
Okay. Legal counsel and I, well, legal counsels and I were talking, got a couple issues that need to be addressed in the overlay ordinance itself. Some legal questions kind of were raised and some wording needs to be changed. So I'm going to recommend that we actually table the overlay to the next meeting in order to allow myself to work with legal counsel, and the Plan Commission legal counsel has actually had a death in the family, so she won't be available for a little while. So I'm requesting tabling that to the next meeting so we can address these issues that have been identified.
So I make a motion we table until next meeting.
Okay, we got a motion to table until the next meeting.
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussions?
Yeah, Nathan, does those change in verbiage or words, does that have to go back to the planning commission, or it can be brought to our next meeting in 2 weeks?
It will be brought back to you in 2 weeks, and then if you make changes, if you make the changes that are expected to be made per legal counsel, then it has 45 days to go back to the Plan Commission if they want to revisit it and relook at those changes.
Okay, so it can come in 2 weeks.
It can come in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussions? All those in favor raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Nathan.
And the other one is a more standard rezoning map amendment for the Lopez's on North Etna Road, and on 250 West at Etna Road, where the north intersection is. 94, little over 94 acres, almost 95 acres, being requested to be rezoned from AG to AGP. I did receive a favorable recommendation from the Plan Commission with a vote of 7-2. If you've got questions for me. The planned use is to have a confined feeding operation for chickens that exceeds the 3001 limitation on confined feeding operations in AG.
Okay.
I make a motion we accept the Plan Commission's recommendation.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the Plan Commission recommendation for the map zoning amendment.
Second.
Got a second? Any discussions? All those in favor raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was ordinance number then?
It's 2017-09.
That's 2017-09.
So we will bring you back, presumably we'll bring you up changes in 2 weeks on the overlay then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Okay, next on the agenda, Mark Sturdivant, jail outdoor recreational area repairs. You got the-
Couple other things came up
Yeah, I think we got that.
More than what I've got then? On the,
Oh, wait a minute, there's another one, okay. All right.
The jail outdoor recreational area, in addition to the outside work, or the exterior work that needs to be done in the jail, there is some work that needs to be done in that recreational area. Specifically, what we need to do is inspect the inside columns and pilasters that are supporting that 16-foot wide by 36-foot beam. As you can see in the pictures there's significant stress fractures. And what we're trying to determine is if those columns are poured solid with reinforcement, or if there is indeed a steel column in those concrete blocks. In order to inspect those, the engineer would like to have Atlas Building there to put the columns back together once they open them up and inspect the beams or the columns. So I'm asking for a favorable recommendation of $6,033 to do the inspection. And once we get this inspection, we can come back and give you an idea of what it's going to cost to repair the recreational area.
Mark, how are they gonna open that up that they can be repaired?
We're going to start with a hole and an inspection camera to see what we can see inside. And we're just going to keep making the hole bigger as we need until we get it big enough that we can determine if there is a steel column in there. If there is, we're going to take samples to see the condition of it. And if it's just poured concrete with reinforcement, then we'll know right away and we can address repairing that based off of that. According to the prints, it shows it that there is one in there, but according to the stress fractures, it kind of lends to believe that there isn't a steel column in there. Like I said, as you can see with those pictures, they're pretty significant stress
Well,
fractures.
it appears if there's steel column in there, it's not very good shape.
Probably.
All right, if this money gets approved, what kind of a timetable are we looking at to get this checked out?
We can have it checked out within a month.
Mark,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna ask, what's the downside to not doing anything? Keep them from playing basketball?
There's very little remaining that's supporting that beam. And attached to that beam is the steel overhead roll door that's attached to that beam also. So there's significant weight on that.
Mark, if they do find out that it's just poured concrete with some rebar in it, is that gonna be cheaper? I mean, would Atlas charge us still the $2,200 if they didn't have to do that much?
Atlas bid was worst case scenario. If we can drill the hole and inspect it, he's not even gonna charge us to fill that hole. This is worst case scenario that Martin Riley would have to take a block or two out, and then that's what it would cost. So there's a good chance it won't even come into this number, but
So they're gonna do both columns.
yes, inspect both columns.
And I'm not really sure I got an answer to my question. I mean, the downside to doing nothing is what? I mean, leave the door down,
The door doesn't even work, so as far as lowering the door and leaving it like that, really isn't an option.
Is that something different than this then? When you say the door doesn't work, is that,
The overhead door,
yeah?
to my knowledge, does not work. Sheriff Gatton might correct me if,
It doesn't work, hasn't worked for years, but we seem to have benefit fixing it for the cost. It's just gonna divide from outside to inside, from the open side to the other, so we chose not to fix it.
So is that caused by the structural issues that we've got here? Okay.
Don, I'm not sure I answered your question, but
Yeah, I just,
I can't tell you what would happen if we didn't fix it. I don't know. But you can see by the pictures, there's enough cause there.
well, I'm not arguing, I'm not arguing at all. I'm certainly not arguing that that's a bad crack. I mean, I just, if something could happen that a prisoner would get hurt, if something would happen that a prisoner could escape because of this, I probably would have a whole different attitude towards it. But maybe to keep them from playing basketball, I just don't have much of an attitude towards that one. So,
Again, I'm not sure what the regulations are, if we have to provide them with outdoor time. I don't know what
that one, okay, thanks, that's another question. Mark, was this brought up on a jail inspection?
No, but we do utilize it. They don't play any basketball due to injuries we've had and have to take them to the hospital.
Okay,
It's just a walking area for them to get outside, hopefully once a week or twice a week during the warm weather.
okay, all right. And this is just one of others? I mean, are we doing? I'm not sure what we're doing here.
Well, I think the only thing at this point is this, are you going to bring something
Yes.
forward also? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Again, I'm just asking for a favorable recommendation when I bring this to the council tomorrow.
And then we're gonna do the same thing with two or three other things then?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I move we approve this $6,000 expenditure. We can't sit there and let this go kick the can down the road some more. We need to find out what it is and what we need to do.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the $6,033 for the examination of the courthouse, or the jail recreation area. I'll second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Mark.
Okay. Again, I'm asking for favorable recommendation to replace the jail walk-in cooler and the freezer, refrigeration units. The estimates are laid out there for you to look at.
Didn't we do
Didn't we
this?
The council asked me to bring it back. I'm just bringing it back to you for a favorable recommendation. The council asked me to bring it back tomorrow.
To them.
Yes.
Is it different than the last one?
I guess we don't really need, I
You don't
mean,
need to do anything.
you can use our recommendation previous.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, that we've already given that one.
The jail water softener has failed. It's approximately 25 to 30 years old right now. Jail averages 350,000 gallons of water a month. The lifespan is about 15 years, so we're well beyond that lifespan. And what we're running into is a lot of equipment failure due to the lime buildup in the water, the hard water. In fact, we just replaced the dishwasher booster heater because it was completely full of lime. So again, I'm asking for a favorable recommendation to take to the council that we replace the water softener. As you can see, the two estimates there, the lowest one would be $17,868. We have spent a couple of weeks trying to work on the existing one, and there's actually two there. One of them is completely failed, and the other one is only running at less than half capacity. So,
Is this city water?
yes.
And it's hard.
The
Very.
city water only treats for rust. They do not treat for hardness or minerals.
Okay.
Oklahoma City, you need a water softener.
Okay.
Mark, have we had ongoing maintenance cost with these recently?
No. We have spent,
Just haven't been
like I
working.
said, we've spent a couple of weeks, just shy of $400 trying to work on them and getting them to run in, they just need to be replaced.
So I'll make a motion that we send this to council with a favorable pass, simply because not fixing this is just going to cost us more money down the road
Yes.
with everything water touches. So I'll make a motion, we give a favorable pass tomorrow.
Okay, I got a motion to make a favorable pass to replace the jail water softener.
Second.
We got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
And then the last thing is the courthouse first section of the tower. Back on August 8th, the council approved the use of a specialized lift to inspect the damage to that first section of the courthouse tower. We've completed that, and as you can see by the pictures, there's a tremendous amount of failure. We have chunks of the limestone actually falling off, landing on the roof. The repair for this is rather extensive. It's basically a total restoration of tuck pointing all the joints, and some of the pieces that were significant are going to have to be replaced that have fallen off the courthouse. I did ask the contractor, Atlas Building, what they would rate this as far as urgency in reference to the courthouse moisture issue that I've brought to you in the past. As far as tuck pointing the four sides of the courthouse, they believe that this should take precedence over that. It's that critical.
I think we can see that in these pictures.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic. You know, it is our, yeah.
Is there any, on this bid, is there any warranty or anything? What's any of this work?
In the proposal, they would be re-tuck pointing 100%, putting sealant on all the joints, especially the skyward facing joints. Then it would be cleaned and a water repellent would be applied. That water repellent carries a 5-year warranty. We have had that done on the courthouse in the past, and it does last 5 years. But as far as the actual joint repair, 1 year is all you're gonna get as far as a warranty.
Atlas has pretty much done all of our courthouse work, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, at these figures, are we required to get other bids?
You're under the 150,000,
He did get another quote.
but there are 2 bids there.
I mean, don't have to get the third one.
I do see a guarantee of 1 year.
So this is just kicking the other project down the road then?
Yes. And this is only the first section. The second section, that would be the section where the louvers are, the bell tower, that's in pretty good shape. But the metal work around the clock is gonna need some attention in the next year or 2. It's starting to rust.
So that shouldn't be as extensive as this.
No. 50,000 of this is scaffolding. Per OSHA, we're
Really?
gonna have to have the entire thing scaffolded from the ground up. Yeah, pretty extensive.
Yes. Well, I'll make a motion that we send it to council with a favorable pass, because we can't have something, chunks falling off and hitting people, so.
Okay, we got a motion for a favorable pass to council for the tower repair.
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussions?
For the Atlas bid.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, that is
For
for
the
the
Atlas
Atlas.
bid, it's the lowest of the two.
$121,289. Any further discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Any other surprises?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Sheriff Gatton, Lutheran EMS dispatching.
So, usually this is a consulting, which this is the.
Afternoon.
So, Mark, give this close scrutiny because these people are getting paid by us to make this. Put this on my desk.
First off, I'd like to advise citizens of South Whitley that the Sheriff's Department at this point is unable to dispatch Lutheran EMS services using Whitley County Dispatch for reasons I cannot discuss now, but we'll talk about later. I commend the South Whitley Town Board and the residents of South Whitley for their efforts and persistence in this matter. If the commissioners should change their mind in the future, please feel free to contact my office. Before I would go, though, I would like to make a request that the citizens of South Whitley and taxpayers brought everything they could to you to show how this could work, including everything you asked for. So I would just ask that you would reconsider and make a motion today to allow us.
I make a motion that we allow the sheriff's dispatch to
Just for the town of South
dispatch
Whitley.
the town of South Whitley ambulance.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the dispatch for the town of South Whitley for EMS services. We have a second? Dies for lack of a second.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Mark. Scott Wagner, Croy Brothers, a well issue?
Okay. Couple meetings we had last couple times about the well that was drilled out at the Pyle residence in Charbusco. Met with Croy Brothers at the property, measured the distance to the sewer line, and then also to the existing pond structure or dry pond area. And they meet all the definitions under state and county code for those distances. So I sent them a letter that I sent to you as an example for a possible variance for them. If given the variance, they'll sign a covenant to indemnify the commissioners and the health department, as well as have it recorded to their deed. Did you have any questions for me?
Mr. Pyle here.
He's in the back there.
I hope you understand what we've been through here, okay? I will make a motion and we'll accept the variance. But understand, he marked where the well was supposed to go. He put a blue flag in the ground, written on it, said well. You or somebody else decided, that's not where I want the well, I want to put it over here. And that's not the way it works.
Okay.
You come through by the skin of your teeth because you made it 2 foot in one spot and 1 foot in another spot.
Right.
And so we pretty much probably have to give you the variance, and I'm going to make the motion we do, but I'm just telling you, you're that close to a $500 fine,
Right.
so.
I spoke with Granite Ridge, the superintendent, and he was like, I told him, before you do the well, I'm not doing this stuff. I said,
Yeah.
I would like it on the other side of the house, because the pond and the
Sure.
garden and stuff and the pump.
Sure.
And he's like, okay, just talk to the well driller. You guys work it out, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So I talked to him, I thought he would know exactly
Yeah.
where it could go. So I had
Okay.
no idea. I had to do it right there.
Okay, well, I don't know, is Mr. Croy, either Mr. Croy here today? They were here last meeting,
Yeah.
and in 1997, a long time ago,
Right.
our health department sent to every well driller in northeast Indiana our specifications of Whitley County. So they did know the right thing to do. They just opted not to do the right thing.
I don't know if he knew
And
for sure.
kind of let you hang it, holding the bag a little
Right.
bit, so.
It was on a slab, and there's no drain there, and I looked up a PDF for Indiana.gov, and it said perimeter drain, 10 foot from a perimeter drain, there's no drain there, and apparently I was on the wrong form, or,
Yeah, well, anything like that has to go through him. He's our county sanitarian, so.
Okay, yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we allow the variance and abate the $500 fine.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the variance and to abate the $500 fine.
I'll second it.
We've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jana, our county auditor.
You received all of the schedules. Did you have any questions? The accounts payable schedule, the payroll schedule, your schedule for next year, and the holiday schedule.
When do you see us getting a 4 and 2 schedule?
Probably next meeting. I need to work with Vicki on it, so.
Okay. I count 14 holidays, is that,
That's what
Is
we
that
had.
right?
Yep, that's what we had this year.
Right.
So,
okay. Oh, it's election year, I forgot, okay. It's election year. Okay. Make a motion, we approve the holiday schedule for non-4 and 2. I don't know how to state it. For everybody but 4 and 2.
Okay, got a motion to approve the holiday schedule for 2018 for the non-4 and 2. We have a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
and then did you want to do these or the accounts payable and payroll?
Might as well.
Okay. So, are you doing group yours next?
I'll make a motion, we approve the scheduled meetings for 2018 based on what we were given.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the meetings for county commissioners for 2018, beginning at 1 PM. Got a motion, we've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. And let's look at the payroll schedule for 2018. If you had a chance to take.
No, I move we approve it. As
Second.
presented.
Second.
Got a motion to approve payroll and accounts payable scheduling as presented. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, how about minutes? Has everyone had a chance to take a look at, we have minutes for the August 21st, 2017 meeting and also our executive session.
I move we approve them on our regular scheduled meeting.
Okay,
A second.
got a motion and a
Had to think
second
what
to
you're
approve
talking
our regular meeting minutes for August 21st, 2017. Any further discussions, amendments? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay, executive session on August 21st, or 22nd, 2017. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, we approve the executive session and note that there were no decisions made during that session.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the August 22nd, 2017 executive session, noting that we did not make any decisions within that meeting.
Second.
Got a second? Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
I need to get this one done, but just like last minute, so I don't know if you wanted to. It's very short, it just describes that you approved that rezoning. Sure, till next meeting, it's up to you.
Oh, for the, okay. Then we had the special meeting for August 30th, 2017 for the consideration for the zone map amendment ordinance for Troy Center.
I have to abstain.
Okay, we got
Move we approve it.
motion to approve. I'll second. Commissioner Amber will abstain. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Knucklehead.
Okay, claims. Commissioner?
First thing, I looked all the claims over, now I'll move we approve the payroll claims.
Second.
Got a motion to approve payroll claims. We've got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay, how about claims for regular
Yeah, I move we also approve the regular claims.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion to approve claims for August 21st through September 5th, totaling $853,919.36. Any further discussions?
Yeah, there's a couple things that, I don't have a problem with the claims, but there's a couple things. One of them was mentioned in a previous meeting about that NIPSCO bill. All the rest of the buildings are a minimum of $32, $3, $4, $5 a month. The minimum for this building's $500 some per month. And I don't know, Mark's probably not still here, is he? But it needs to look into that. That's,
We'll turn that over to Mark.
and the other question I had was, power bill for the hotel, community corrections, of $5,000+. We gotta make sure there's something else that's, if there's something else included in that bill, or else there's something wrong with the meter, because there's no way you use $5,000 worth of power per month out there. It just jumped out at me as really, really high.
And we probably should look at the efficiencies at community corrections also.
Yeah.
Other than that, I found no other issues. But those two things kind of pop out at you.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Janet, did you have anything further? Okay. Commissioner?
Why does Matt have anything?
No.
I do have that letter for the attorney to pursue the property tax thing that we had brought up last time.
Yeah.
I looked at that and we made some changes to it to protect it a little bit more, but you guys wanted to table that to this meeting to have time
Right.
to review it. I think it's appropriate at this point, so.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract with Buchanan and Brueggen Schmidt.
You got that correct?
Okay, we got a motion to approve the Buchanan and Brueggenschmidt contract with for property tax legal services. Got a second? Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. I don't know if you got the original.
Oh, that's the corrected one.
Yeah.
Did you have a copy of the new one?
Make sure this is the right one. There it is, Chad.
And that is the corrected one.
Yeah, I changed the date to August 21st. I thought you were gonna approve it at once.
Anything else, Matt? Commissioner?
I don't have anything at this time.
Commissioner?
You know, we struggled here today, we struggled last week with $100,000 repairs, you know? I mean, our stuff needs repaired. And in our last meeting, the city came and gave us a very nice presentation on the aquatic facility, and that they were short money and they asked for money. And essentially, we didn't tell them no, we sent them to the council. So I was pretty disappointed when I read the paper a few days later about what the mayor had to say about us not willing to help. I thought it was a cheap shot, and I really didn't appreciate it. And for the reason, here today, we're looking at 100,000 here and 100,000 there, and so 200,000 for the aquatic center, I couldn't do in my mind. So just wanted to explain that out, so.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, I have a request for permission to use the county facilities from the Columbia City Fire Department. It's for the candy giveaway on December 24th at the courthouse. And Ron Glassley has been made aware of this and will provide security. And it's from 6 to 8 p.m.
Is that on the inside?
Yeah. I would proudly make a motion that we approve that. This is really a long-standing, wow, they've done that for so many years. I'm happy to make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve. We've got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. And that's all I had. Janet, did you have anything more?
Not at this time.
Okay. Anything from the public? Yes. Let's start with the
I don't understand why you're dragging your feet on the ambulance for South Whitley.
there are many reasons, and I think I would welcome you to come into the commissioner's room and we could talk about that. I could explain what my position is, and I'm sure the other commissioners would be more than willing to do that too.
Mr. Amber and Roger Waite and Dr. Waite started the original service, right?
Dr. Waite and Roger Waite did.
Okay. And then we had a volunteer service going to South Whitley for a number of years until there wasn't any more volunteers. Then Parkview had to come into the situation. Parkview isn't always in South Whitley, they're here, they're there, they're this way. Why can't we have our own ambulance?
We're not saying that you can't have it, we're saying that we don't want to dispatch.
And you still say, no, 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 only one agrees.
Again, I would welcome you to come into the commissioners and talk to us, because we would be more than willing to explain our situation on that. But in this meeting, I don't think we can.
Why can't you? It's open to the public. We're the public, we need to know.
Part of the agreement, we've got an agreement with Parkview Hospital.
Agreement with Parkview Hospital.
It's a contract.
And who do you work for?
I don't work for, I work for myself.
Doesn't one of you work for Parkview Hospital? Yes, no?
No?
I used to.
Yes, you used to, yes.
I'm on the board for Parkview
Okay,
Whitley
you're on the
Hospital,
board for Parkview. Well,
but as a representative of Whitley County.
but you're not representing South Whitley. South Whitley was the first town here in Whitley County, right? Then you fellows, then Columbia City came along. And I just don't understand why this keeps dragging on and on and on.
Well, the basic reason is that we're under contract with Parkview for 5
How
years.
long?
For 5 years.
That's not fair to us. Are you gonna have an ambulance there in South Whitley 24/7.
There is ambulance service for,
But it's
South
not
Whitley.
always there. And it's, now where is the ambulance parked at? It's parked out at the clinic.
it's because they were kicked out of the fire station.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That'd be fine for us because we live on that side of the track. Before, when it was down, we have to wait for the train and I 5-year contract. No.
Contract that the town has come up with is a 10-year contract with Lutheran. Anyone else?
Hi, gentlemen. My name is John O'Connell. I'm president of Whitley Water Matters. And I'm here to speak on behalf of many of the members of Whitley Water Matters, which is a grassroots organization that started in approximately April in response to large-scale farming moving to the northern part of Whitley County. I don't have any prepared comments, which these people are very more than happy about, because they've heard me speak before. But I do want to make public, as asked by Whitley Water Matters, make public our opposition to your unanimous vote for an AGP zoning of the Lopez Farm. We think that it's precedent setting. We don't think that enough research has gone into AGP zoning, especially since it's the first one in our county. We're also concerned that it doesn't pay any attention to the comprehensive plan. I guess we're disappointed that the overlay didn't come before you today, because in the overlay you would have seen today, some planning for the future is in that overlay with regard to northern Whitley County. I think you would have had the opportunity to see how close these farms are getting to large residential and certain lake residential neighborhoods. So we are opposed to that particular zoning. We would ask that the commissioners consider a moratorium on any future AGP zoning until the supposed land use steering committee, which is not yet formed, out of the Building and Planning Commission, until that committee has time to review the comprehensive plan and come up with ordinances that fit all members of Whitley County. We ask that you not approve any future AGP until that process is done. The Building and Planning Commission has agreed to put together members of all aspects of Whitley County to come up with some ordinances that speak to the comprehensive plan and speak to the residential development we need in Whitley County to help the economic development of Whitley County. And in our opinion, AGP zoning is not doing that, certainly not in the northern part of Whitley County. So we would ask for that moratorium, and we would ask that you seriously consider in the next 2 weeks the overlay that's coming before you and what effects it will have on lake residential and residential development in northern Whitley County, and what the Building and Planning Commission calls the residential corridor of Highway 9 and 109. Thank you for your time, gentlemen. I
Thank you,
appreciate
John.
it. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Motion to adjourn? Second? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.